Hi, Stan. What's up?
I need to talk to you.
Well, this really isn't a great time.
Cord is there, and you don't want to talk with him there.
That's right.
Okay, well, listen, you need to get back here to the Vernon Inn because it's some urgent news about Patrick.
My good Samaritan. I do Jeff McGrath, my one good deed of the day, and the whole thing just blows up in my face.
May I say something?
I mean, and I don't blame Jeff. Really, I don't. He's not the one who called the FCC and set them yapping at my heels. And Herb, that's what hurts the most. That's really what I cannot forgive.
Darling, come on, just calm down.
I'm sorry, you're
Come
right.
on.
I just shouldn't come in here ranting and raving. I
Right,
really
it's all right.
apologize. It's just that I feel so...
So betrayed.
Yes.
Yeah, well, a wise woman named Dorian Lord once told me that all fair in love and war and politics.
Oh, that's easy for her to say.
I must admit, I'm surprised by Charles' tactics. Last I looked around, you and the ambassador were on the verge of being an item.
No, not at all. We were on the verge of starting a friendship. Oh, all right. I mean, there was a certain amount of congeniality between us. But Herb, dear, I could hardly get involved with Charles when you are involved with Judith. Really. It would be like wife swapping. It's just too ludicrous for words. No. Though I must admit, he is very charming, isn't he? At that time, my life seemed to lack charm, especially once I had thrown John's clothes out into the hall. Oh, never mind about all of that. I just don't know how I could have been so wrong about Charles.
Well, you weren't wrong. Look up charming in the dictionary. You'll find a picture of Charles Sanders. That's the problem. You and he are too congenial.
What?
Yeah, it's like two peas in a pod. Or should I say, like two shells in a shotgun.
Peas in a pod?
Yeah.
Oh, similarly explosive.
Yes. You're both accustomed to command, and as long as the world obeys, you're all smiles. However, when things don't go your way...
Are you blaming me for the breakup of our marriage?
Am I what?
I mean, just because our marriage failed doesn't mean that I cannot succeed at a relationship with a man who is just as forceful and sure of himself as I am.
Darling, in Charles Sanders, you may have met a man who is even more forceful and sure of himself than you are, with power at his fingertips that you can only dream about.
It was just the kind of break we've been hoping for, Kate. I was at the Banner, and I was trying to get some more information from Freedom International when they told me that Monsieur Tourneau just happened to be in Landview.
When Mademoiselle London tracked me down, naturally I agreed to meet with you both.
Thank you. Now, I'm sure Cindy has told you how long we've been searching for Patrick, and as head of Freedom International, you are our best hope of proving that he's alive.
Mademoiselle Sanders, if this is your proof, I'm afraid I may be no help to you.
The prisoner in this picture is called Miles Bentley by the authorities in Zaroon. If you could talk to him...
The authorities are most difficult. Having heard of our upcoming inspection of prison conditions, they refuse to give us access to this particular prisoner. They claim he is too dangerous.
Doesn't that tell you something?
I knew it. They do have something to hide.
And with good reason. I have been making inquiries of my own concerning this Miles Bentley. My sources tell me there was no Australian mercenary by that name.
I knew it. This is all a cover-up. The man in this photograph has got to be Patrick.
Kate, is it possible? Have we finally found him?
Please, ladies, before you get your hopes up, I must show you something else. This is a list of the inmates at Zaroon Prison. You will note, I am sorry to say, the name Patrick London is not among them.
Okay, so his name is not on the list. That doesn't mean he's not in that prison.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if a cover-up is going on, they're capable of lying about anything.
I applaud your determination, but I must warn you, our mutual efforts may backfire.
Why do you say that?
If Patrick London does exist, the Zaroon government may move him to an unknown site before Freedom International can get to him.
It's not my birthday.
It's not for you. Open it anyway.
Oh, Vicky. Vicky, this is beautiful. But I've seen this before, haven't I?
Yes, it was Cord's. Maria gave it to me for Jessica, but I never used it. I didn't feel it was very appropriate for my daughter. But I think it highly appropriate that Al should wear it at his baptism, unless you object.
Object? Are you kidding? I can't wait to see him in it. Oh, he's going to look so cute. I bet he's going to look just like his daddy did when he got baptized. Oh, Vicky, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I don't know if you realize or if I've had a chance to tell you how much it means to me, you giving Al and me a home.
Are you kidding? Pure selfishness. Means that Jessica and I will always have company with you and Al in the nursery, and we never have to look very far for a clean diaper.
Look, I know you can joke about it, but I also know it mustn't have been too easy for you to let me back into your life.
You are my sister. You are a part of my life. And you belong here at Landfair for just as long as you want to be here.
Oh, thank you. But you know, as much as Landfair means to me, and it does mean a lot, I can't wait till I have a home of my own and hopefully a family of my own.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. Let us look in.
Oh, Horace, hi.
Hi, Tina. Hi, Vicky. How you doing? Listen, I got some good news. I just talked to Father Walker, and he said that the baptism is all set for next week.
Next week? Well, Court, we can't. That's too soon.
This is all-powerful.
No reflection on you.
My dear, I may lack his firepower, but I still have ammunition of my own.
What sort of ammunition? Now, Dorian, I know that look. Now, look, have you been snooping around in Charles's background?
Herb, would I stoop to snoop?
Does July follow June?
I was not looking for dirt, honestly. I just happened to stumble across certain information, and
What?
you've got to promise not to breathe a word.
Dorian, come on.
All right. The French have a phrase for it. Cherchez la femme.
That's it?
Oui.
Charles has been involved with a lot of women, and everybody knows it.
Oh, but do they know about a very special woman? A certain woman very well connected to the Mendoran throne who's been having an affair with Charles for years.
Marissa.
You knew about her?
Judith told me.
Why didn't you tell me? What kind of an ex-husband are you?
A discreet one, unlike Mr. Sanders. According to Judith, by the way, it was a series of women like Marissa that brought down their marriage.
Oh, dear, I am not interested in why Charles and Judith broke up, really. But what does fascinate me is the hefty stipend that Charles has been sending Marissa every month.
He still sends her money?
Oh, Judith didn't know that, did she? Oh, yes. Charles has been paying off Marissa for years now. I'd like to know why.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you looking for some kind of revenge?
No, I am not. I'm looking for justice, Herb. I don't care how Charles lives his life, but I don't want his covering up his indiscretions at the expense of my broadcast license. He does that, I'm coming out fighting.
I don't see the connection between Charles' mistress and your troubles with the
The
FCC.
connection is all too obvious. It's Jeff McGrath.
You're losing me.
Please think, will you? Jeff McGrath must have found out about Charles' relationship with Marissa. So he disguised himself as a prince. He came to the party with blackmail on his mind, and that's why Charles wants him booted out of the country.
That's brilliant, dear, but you can't prove it.
No, I can't. Not yet. Really, I have given Charles every opportunity to tell me the truth, but he keeps insisting that this is all a matter of Mendoran and American interests, that they're at stake.
Dorian, maybe they are.
No, they're not. You know what's at stake? Charles's career. And if he's going to play hardball to protect it, I can play just as hard.
Tina, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I thought you would be pleased by this.
Oh, she is. She is. That's right, huh?
Yeah, that's it. I was going to call the father myself and arrange for it. And I thought it would just take a month or so, that's all.
I'm sorry, Tina. I just figured with you being sick, it would be easier if I talked to Father Walker, and he said he was available next Friday. I said that was fine with us.
Next Friday.
Yeah. So I guess that's it. Hey, is this my christening gown? My mom gave this to little Jessica, right?
Yes, that's right. I gave it to Tina for Al.
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh, Vicky, thank you. Tina, isn't this great? I tell you, when little Al wears this, that's just going to make the whole day perfect.
Yeah. Well, I suppose since the day is set.
Then Friday it is.
Great. Tina, there is something else that we need to discuss.
I thought we weren't going to discuss the divorce right now.
Well, no, it's about the, custody. Obviously, I like to spend all the time I can with little Al.
I'm going to leave you two settle this by yourselves.
Oh, Vicky, you don't have to go.
Yes, I do. This is between mother and father. You don't need a referee.
Thanks again, Vicky. Well, Tina, I'll make it as simple as I can. I really would like to spend all the time I can with my son.
Oh, I want the same thing.
You do?
Cord, it is just as important to me as it is to you that you and Al keep very close. So we don't even have to talk about a separate agreement or anything.
You mean I'll be able to spend more time with him than just weekends?
Honey, you can see him as much as you want. In fact, I think it is really important for the two of us to spend time with Al. Real quality time together and everything. I think it's important that he doesn't grow up thinking he's just part of a divided family.
We have to move quickly before they move Patrick to another prison.
I give you my word, ladies. I will leave for Geneva tomorrow, gather my field personnel, and go to Zarun immediately. We will find the man in this photograph and learn his true identity.
Thank you very much, Monsieur Tourneau.
Yes, and if there is anything we can do from here to help.
Don't worry. I'll keep in close contact. Adieu.
Adieu. Goodbye. Well, he seems like a good man. I just don't know if one good man is enough if we're up against an entire government. So, Kate, maybe your father could put some pressure on the government to give us a complete list of all the prisoners.
No.
Yeah, but surely he's got enough clout to get us some of the answers.
No, Cindy, this isn't up to my father. I know it has to be done, and I have to do it.
Sweetheart, look. So far, you've had a tiff with Charles. Escalated, you could lose everything.
I'm not afraid of a fighter.
Nobody's questioning your courage, just your common sense. Now, honey, I know how much dealing means to you. Don't do something foolish and lose it.
I didn't know you cared so much about my television.
Well, I care about you.
You still do, in spite of everything.
Well, some people are addicted to chocolate. Me,
Thank you. I'm really very touched. However, you needn't be concerned about me. I have friends in high circles.
You do. I have reason to be concerned, darling. You understand? You take on Charles Sanders, and all these so-called friends might side with him.
I'm willing to take the chance. Besides which, I know somebody who can give me some information.
What sort of information?
Goodbye, dear.
Dorian.
Really.
Dorian,
Thank you for all your help.
What sort of information?
I beg pardon, sir, but you have a visitor.
Oh, no, I told you, Payson, no more appointments today.
Oh, yes, I know, sir, but the young man insists.
Young man?
Oh, it's nice to see you again, Mr. Ambassador. If I could have a moment of your time.
It's all right, Payson. Thank you. Close the doors on your way out.
I know I should have called to make an appointment.
Jeffrey, if you've come to gloat, just turn on your heel and get out of my house.
Your house. I thought this was the Sanders family mansion. Doesn't that include your son?
Jeffrey, I made my peace with you a long time ago. And I resent the fact that you came here and are using your adolescent tactics for revenge.
I think you have this wrong.
No, I don't have it wrong. You've been having yourself a high old time at my expense ever since you got here. And let me tell you something. Impersonating the prince, not a harmless prank. You put his life in grave danger, you enraged the king, and you put my career on the line, and now you march in here. What are you trying to do, survey the damage?
You know, I don't know why I expected any other kind of welcome. Now, you have until tomorrow morning to have my visa granted.
I do. Well, what happens if I refuse?
Well, then at my immigration hearing, I'm going to have to tell them who would like to have me deported and why.
The ultimate revenge, eh, Jeffrey? Forget everything that has ever gone on before.
Forget everything I've ever done for your mother, for you, your home, your cars,
your education, your privileged upbringing. What are you going to do? Throw all of that out the window simply because I wasn't able to give you the Sanders family name?
You can keep the Sanders name. I don't want any part of that.
Well, then why don't you go back to Mendora or anywhere else? The only thing you'll accomplish here is pain, including yours.
You know, that's the irony of this. I never intended to settle in Landview. With my Harvard connections, Boston's the obvious place. But then you had to try and use your power to deport me.
You are here for revenge, aren't you?
No, you just don't get it, do you?
No.
I mean, when you tried to get me deported, I suddenly found a whole new circle of friends. They're people I can depend on, not family, but I can still count on them. And they can count on me. I'm not going to desert them. You see, I'm not leaving Landview, Father. And I'm never going to run from you again.
Katie, wait, what are you planning to do?
Cindy, I think it's better if you don't know.
Patrick is my brother. Now, if you've got a way of finding him, I have got a right to know.
Well, hello there. I was on my way to see Herb, and I saw you two in a very serious conversation.
You're right. It is serious.
Why do I feel like you're back in college and you're still keeping secrets from good old Mum?
We are well join the club, Judith. Your daughter's keeping secrets from me, too.
Okay, I'll tell you both. But first, let me share some good news with you, okay? Mm-hmm. Tina has agreed to the divorce.
Kate, that's wonderful. Oh. You mean you sat here all this time and never let on? I would be dancing on the ceiling if I
Well,
were you.
there's one little catch. We have to wait until the baby has been christened, and then after that, he will be free.
God, Kate, I am so happy for you.
Me too. It seems like things are finally going right for us. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've made this decision.
What decision?
Well, this morning, Cindy and I met with Gaston Torno. He's the head of Freedom International.
Yeah, it seems there is no record of an Australian prisoner named Miles Bentley.
So he thinks that maybe the man in the picture is Patrick.
Well, he won't know until he goes to Zaroon and sees for himself, but there is a risk involved. If it is Patrick and the government finds out, then they will move him before we have a chance to find out the truth.
Yeah, so that's why Monsieur Tourneau is leaving tomorrow.
And he's not the only one. Don't look shocked. I'm going to Africa.
Bodyguard.
The king didn't appreciate my letting Jeff McGrath change places with the real prince. He couldn't fire the prince, so he fired me.
So I'm sure Jeffrey is no longer one of your favorite people.
He's a good kid. It's Ambassador Sanders who blew the whistle on me to the king. I'd sure like to repay the favor.
Well, perhaps you can. Have you got any immediate plans for the future?
I've got a cousin in California. He works with a TV network. I've got several years' experience in broadcasting. In London before I left from Mendora.
Really? Perhaps I can help you there. I know many powerful people in broadcasting. I could phone some friends at the studios in Los Angeles and set something up for you.
Mrs. Orr, that would be great. But I've learned several things since I've been in America. Nobody gets anything for nothing.
Ah, you catch on quickly. Yes, I do want something from you.
Name it.
I want you to tell me Jeffrey McGrath's secret.
Secret?
Oh, please, this is not the time to play coy. As the bodyguard to the prince, you surely must have heard nearly all the Mendoran state secrets.
Mrs. Lord, please don't ask me what I think you're going to ask me.
It is not just your job that is at stake here. It's also my career. Please, tell me, what is the connection between Jeffrey, Charles Sanders, and a woman named Marissa?
Please.
I promise I will not tell anybody. As a journalist, I would never reveal my sources.
Charles Sanders and Marissa are Jeff's parents.
Jeffrey, I never wanted you to run from me. I reached out to you more than once, over and over again. You just never seemed to let me be a father to you.
Don't rewrite history. I was never your son. I was a mistake that you kept trying to forget, just like you forgot about my mother.
I cared very deeply for your mother. And for you. Now, maybe the money and everything that goes with it wasn't enough. It wasn't right, maybe. But it was the only way I knew of showing both of you that I didn't want to turn my back on you.
Look, I'm not asking for anything from you, least of all love. All I want is a chance to make it on my own in Landview. Don't worry, I will keep my background a secret. No one will know that you're my father. All I ask is that you just let me be. Now, I hope that's all right. Because I don't think we can be friends, but I don't want to be enemies.
Oh, I don't want you for an enemy, Jeffrey. I have a son already who has become an enemy to everything I've ever believed in.
Well, you know my terms. You have until tomorrow to call it off. You know, we didn't have to end like this. Could have been very, very different.
Tina, you've been telling everybody that you've changed. At first, I didn't really believe that. But I like the person that you've become now. I like her a lot.
Thanks. I hope the more you get to know me, the more you like me.
Girl, hearing you talk like this, I'm positive that we're going to raise ourselves one fine son together.
Yeah. Oh, I know we will. Listen, you know, Kim is going to feed Al his supper. Why don't you go on up and see him, and I'll be up there in a few minutes.
Oh, great. I'd love to. Great idea. We'll see you in a little bit.
Together. Al, you look adorable. Look at you. Oh, honey, you look so handsome in this suit. You know that your daddy has a suit just like this. Come here. Come with me. Now, you wait right here, okay? Because you know what? You look almost perfect in this suit. I just need one little thing. So you wait right there for me, okay? Now, you see this? So your Aunt Vicky gave this to you 3 years ago when you were baptized. And I think that you should wear it. And I think as my handsome, wonderful big son, that you should be very proud to wear it.
Tina, I got to talk to you.
Well, of course, you're all ready for church, and you know how Al looks forward to it.
Hey, little buddy, how you doing there? Listen, why don't you do me a favor? Kim's upstairs playing with your little cousin Jessica. You go up there and have a good time, okay? Daddy'll be with you in a minute, okay?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, upstairs.
Well, of course, what is it? What's wrong?
Tina, there's no use pretending any longer. Kate and I, we're finished.
Oh, Cory, no.
I feel like such a damn fool. I mean, I should have known that Kate and I, we could never make it for the long haul. Nothing left to do but file for divorce.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I know how much marriage means to you.
See, I just never knew what a real marriage was like until... Tina, I guess the fact of the matter is, I never should have let you go. But I did now, and it's too late, man.
Oh, honey, but... Look, it isn't too late. It really isn't, honey. I mean, I always knew this would happen. I did. That's why I never gave up hope. Why I never stopped loving you, and why I never stopped believing in you.
You mean you give me another chance, Tina? You take me back?
Oh, honey, don't you see? Oh, honey, you never really left.
Oh, girl, come here. Oh.
What, you go to Africa?
Mom, you can't stop me.
Zaroon is a very hostile nation. If you arrived there with Freedom International, you could anger the government. They could easily find a prison cell for you.
I had thought about all the risks, and they're worth it.
Okay. Cindy, maybe you can talk to her.
I'm sorry, Judith, but, yeah, I know better than to try and talk Kate out of something when she's got that look on her face.
Thank you, Cindy.
So that's why I'm going to go with you.
Wait a minute, you're both out of your mind.
Look, it is. Patrick is my brother. I have as much right as anyone to join in the search.
I'm sorry, Cindy, but this is something I have to do alone.
Why can't you ask your father to get some American congressman or someone to join you? Maybe a congressman who has interests in Africa.
Mom, I'm not going there to get involved in the internal politics of a country. I'm going there to find Patrick.
Why do you have to go alone?
Because I swore I would never give up the search. And because he never would have been captured if I'd agreed to cancel our last trip and marry him. And he loves me.
Katie, there is someone who loves you here, who cares for you and needs you right here.
Mom, I know that. And this hasn't been an easy decision to make. But I have to go. Cindy, you understand, don't you?
Yeah, well, just take care of yourself, all right?
I will. And will you call Gaston Torno and make sure there's a reserved seat on that plane for me tomorrow?
Yeah, you got it. I just wish there was more I could do, and I wish I didn't have to get back to work, but I do. So we'll talk later. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Judith. Bye. Good friend. You know something? I remember when I used to just say, you're grounded.
Mom, believe me, there's nothing to worry about. If it is Patrick, we will find him and get him out of there as quickly as possible.
How does Cord feel about this? You have told him, haven't you?
No, because I know he'll want to go with me. And then Tina will say she can't have the baptism while he's not here, which means that the divorce will be even more delayed. And so I'm not going to tell him the real reason I'm going. I think it's better if I don't.
As soon as John returns, I'll have him return your call. No, John won't be here most of the morning. Yes, I will have him call you back. Thank you. Goodbye.
Baby.
What took you so long to get here from the airport?
Got stuck in one traffic jam after another.
Mom, a million things have been going through my mind since you called, so come on. Out with it.
Kathy, something really big is about to happen to me. Something that could change my entire life. Good morning, Jeffrey.
It doesn't look too good from where I'm sitting.
Well, at least the immigration office has granted the hearing.
Oh, sure, they can say they've guaranteed my rights. Maybe that's just the game they're playing. They can say, you've had your day in court, pal. Now hop on the next flight to Mandora.
You had such faith in my legal expertise yesterday. What happened?
Oh, it's not you. I really appreciate everything that you've done for me.
I know you're anxious about the hearing, but there is something you can do to affect the outcome. Just tell me the truth about why your visa was denied.
Oh, hey, look, it's getting late. I think we better be heading over there to the federal...
You insist on hiding the truth. You know who ordered your visa pulled and why. Now, the only hope you have of staying in this country is to be honest with the immigration office.
McGrath?
Yes.
If you could just sign right there for me, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, talking about dreams coming true.
Why? Have you been dreaming about me?
Yes, ma'am. I certainly have. I've been dreaming about our wedding and our honeymoon and finding an apartment or a house together and spending every night together. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Just okay? Hey, come on. I thought you'd be dancing on the rooftops. You're so happy.
I am happy. And I'm thrilled that Tina agreed to have the baptism next week.
Yeah, me too. Hey, listen, I got some coffee over here if you want. It's still hot.
No, thank you.
Listen, did I tell you that little Al is going to be wearing my christening gown at the baptism? Kate, wait till you see this thing. My grandmother made it. It's hand-stitched and everything. It's beautiful.
Sweetheart, I hope you won't be too upset. I can't make the baptism.
keep slamming those weights around like that, you're going to end up in the lobby. I think with all that running around you were doing at the fashion show last night, you'd take it a little easy today. Yeah, well, I take my workouts as seriously as I take my work. Oh, come on, Max. This is your brother Steve you're talking to here. So? So, maybe everybody else can't see through you, but I can. Where'd you get your degree in psychology? I don't need a degree to see that you're trying to get over Tina Roberts and you're losing the battle. Look, when I want your advice, I'll ask for it, okay? All right. You want to suffer? Go right ahead. Steve, I'm sorry. Look, you're just looking out for me. I'm mad at Tina. I'm not mad at you. What did she do this time? She only calls me when she needs someone to cheer her up, someone to make her laugh. Oh, man, she is in love with Cord. When are you going to face that? She's not in love. She's got Buchanan stars in her eyes. She sees all the power, she sees all the money, and me, I'm just a drifter. Well, you got two choices, Max. You can sit around here feeling sorry for yourself, or you can get on with it and prove yourself a better man. You can do anything you want and be anything you want to be, Max. And if it takes Tina Roberts to get you to believe that, who cares? Go for it. Do it. I'm behind you 100%. End of lecture. Okay, brother. You just watch me. Morning, Mother.
I thought you were on your way to Washington.
I decided not to go.
Charles, you must deal with this Jeffrey McGrath problem.
Well, I already have. I called immigration last night and had his visa reinstated.
How could you?
It was simple. I just told the man, give him back his visa.
That young man is a clear and present danger to you. He cannot be trusted. If he stays in this country, he is bound to blackmail you.
My instincts say no.
Your instincts are the reason you're in this situation.
Mother, I had my affair with Marisa 25 years ago. Let's hope that my judgment has improved somewhat over the years.
Well, obviously it hasn't, or you'll do everything in your power to have Jeffrey deported.
All he wants is a chance to practice law in the States.
And if you deny him that opportunity, he'll tell the whole world that he's your illegitimate son.
Possibly. But with my ambassadorship in jeopardy right now, I have enough problems without adding him to the list.
He should be your #1 priority.
Kate is my #1 priority.
Why? As soon as his son is baptized, Cord plans to file for divorce and marry Kate. I think her life is finally beginning to settle down somewhat.
Mother, Kate has decided to go to Africa.
She's what?
Well, she believes that Patrick is in prison there in Zaroon.
But that man in the photograph was identified as an Australian named Miles Bentley.
I know, but Freedom International says that there is no Australian mercenary by the name of Miles Bentley, either in prison or out in Zaroon. Now, Kate believes that man is Patrick. And you know her, once she has something in her head, nobody's going to try to convince her she's wrong.
It's too dangerous, Charles. You must stop Kate at all costs.
Hearing canceled. Visa will be granted. Appear at this office at earliest convenience to sign papers. J. Boss, Office of Immigration. How did this happen? I was talking to the immigration officer yesterday. He never even hinted that you'd get this visa.
Well, you were telling me to have confidence in you as a lawyer. Maybe they figured since you're representing me, they don't have a chance.
Somebody pulled some strings, and I want to know who.
You know, maybe Prince Raymond came through for me after all.
Or has Charles decided to drop his vendetta against you? He's the only one I know who has this kind of power.
No, but maybe the King of Mandora decided he doesn't want me back in the country after all, after this whole thing between Raymond and his girlfriend.
Well, you're certainly on his hit list after having an affair with his daughter. You told Dorian you had an affair with an 8-year-old princess?
Well, you know what they say. You can fool some of the people some of the time. Look, Judith, can't we put this whole visa business behind me? I want to start fresh now, to begin to practice the kind of law that's really important. Now, tell me, did you have a chance to finish the brief I wrote for Wade Coleman?
Yes, but Wade Coleman is not the issue on the table at the moment. Somebody wanted you back in Mandora, and now he wants you to stay here. I want to know who it is.
I don't know, and I don't care. I want to get on to the important things. Now, tell me, do you think this will give Wade a fair shake?
Are you completely incapable of telling the truth, or are you protecting someone? I have worked very hard to help you. Now, until you decide that you want to tell me the truth, please don't ask me for any more help.
Is this room off limits to women?
Now, do they got great legs?
Oh, Max, leave it to you to make a sexist remark.
I was just trying to pay you a compliment. So, hey, why don't you grab a piece of iron and work out?
No thanks. No thanks.
So what are you doing, just sightseeing?
Well, actually, I came to congratulate you on the fashion show last night. Do you know that was one of the most enjoyable evenings I've spent in Landview?
I didn't even know you were there.
Yeah, well, I know you were so busy. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Hey, well, thank you for your nice words.
Mm-hmm. You know what else?
What?
You won that horse race the other day. I owe you lunch.
Yeah.
Will your muscles be pumped by noon, or should we make it another day?
Today's fine. If you're real lucky, I'll even shower and shave.
Oh, I bet the people at the restaurant will appreciate that.
Oh, Lee, have you seen Pam around this morning?
No, I haven't.
Well, I guess I'd better shower and see if I can find her.
More problems?
No, same old problems. Spelled IRS.
Wait, I thought you cleared all that up.
Yeah, well...
Come on, Steve, come on. We're just as concerned about Pam as you are. Now, maybe we can figure something out to help you.
No, I doubt it. I tell you, the inn is in worse shape than it's ever been. She owes the IRS a bundle, and she's already borrowed up to her neck to pay for the renovations. She may even have to sell the inn if the tax man doesn't get it first.
How the hell did she get in so deep?
Well, it beats me. I thought when the sabotage stuff was over, it'd be clear sailing.
Damn. You got a stake in this place now. This is the best job you ever had.
Yeah, maybe not for long.
Steve, look, I want you to give Pam this. This is going to be the name of the best tax man in the country. You tell her to call him and use my name as a reference. We're good friends, and if he can't do anything, I don't know who can.
Well, great. Thanks, Lee.
Sure.
See you later.
See you around. Well, that was mighty kind of you.
I'm doing everything I can to impress you.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Ha, ha, ha.
All right, I know you flew to Washington last night, so does this have to do with politics?
You're in the ballpark.
Don't tell me. You're running for Congress.
Kathy, but no, it's a good idea.
You're running for president.
Stop it, will you? Though this announcement could make front-page headlines.
Oh, well, Mom, this is ridiculous. You call me. You say you're coming over. You have this incredible news that's going to change your whole life, and you won't tell me what it is. Please tell me.
I'm sworn to secrecy.
If you can't trust me, then why did you come over here today?
Promise not to breathe a word. I swear.
Scout's honor, my lips are sealed. Please tell me, please.
So wait a minute. You mean you're flying off to Geneva today?
Yes, sweetheart, I won't be gone long.
Couldn't you have told me about this last night?
I hadn't decided, and then when I did make up my mind, I thought I should come here and tell you in person.
I don't believe this.
Please, I would not go if it wasn't important, and I promise you I will be back by the time you file for the divorce.
Look, Kate, if this is so important, maybe I ought to go with you.
No. No, forget it.
Kate, listen, I love you. And it's just hard for me to let you just take off and go halfway around the world all by yourself.
I'm used to doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't do that sort of thing since you've been in love with me.
Believe me, I can take care of myself.
Kate, why don't you want me going with you?
Well, if you come with me, then Tina will have to postpone the baptism until you get back, and then the divorce will be delayed.
Yeah, I'm sure that you would use any excuse you could to postpone this thing.
So, why don't you let me take care of this, and you take care of having Al baptized, okay?
Kate, I still don't like the idea of you going off by your lonesome.
Oh, come on, sweetheart. You knew I was independent when we fell in love. You can't spend your whole life protecting me. I'd hate that.
Well, I got this thing about protecting the women that I love.
Please, trust me.
I wish you would trust me enough to tell me the truth, Kate.
Going to be stunned, embarrassed, and anyway, it's only fair to give him time to deal with the situation, prepare a statement for the press.
Mom, who is this person? What does he do?
Charles Sanders.
You're kidding. Charles Sanders has been asked to resign his ambassadorship to Mandora?
That's right.
Why? He's been the ambassador for years. Don't tell me this has to do with the prince and Jeffrey. I mean, Charles wasn't responsible for that.
No. It has nothing to do with that stupid little charade, but No, this is a very delicate and sensitive situation.
Whatever he did, I mean, it must have been something really, really terrible.
Kathy, don't ask me to explain the details, but just trust me on this. Charles's resignation is in the best interests of Mendora and the United States.
Well, did you sense there was something wrong? Is that why you went to Washington?
I have some powerful friends who made some very strong hints.
Well, did you warn Charles? Mom, I got the impression you were friends. Actually, I thought you were becoming very good friends.
We are just friends. But, nonetheless, that doesn't mean that I have to condone his behavior, do I? No. He knows the rules. He broke them, so he's the one who's responsible for this situation. You feeling so sorry for him you can't even congratulate me?
No, I'm happy for you. I am so happy for you. You are going to be the best ambassador in the world.
Thank you for the ringing endorsement.
I mean it. I do. And I know how important this appointment is to you.
It is, really. It's going to give me a chance to help my country on a higher level. It sounds corny, I know, but I just feel that way.
So what about the station?
Oh, it should be easy finding somebody to run it for me.
Yeah. I just thought of something terrible.
What?
Well, if you're the ambassador to Mendora, you're going to have to live there.
Yes, it will help if I spend part of my time there.
And then I won't get to see you as much.
Are you forgetting that when you were living over in Europe, we never got along better? It wasn't until you came home that we started having problems.
Yeah. We've been through some pretty tough times lately.
Yeah. But that's all behind us, miss. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Mom, I am so proud of you.
Yeah, you should be.
I mean it. I am. And I am really happy that you finally got what you want.
How about you? Are you happy with what you have?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
I think you're overreacting, Mother.
Well, Kate is my granddaughter, and I love her. I'm just concerned for her well-being. You must forbid her to go.
Mother, she's old enough to make her own mind up, and she's already done that. She's down at the Waterside Inn saying goodbye to Cord.
Yeah, she's just as stubborn as her mother, who, I suppose, is in favor of this preposterous expedition.
Actually, Judith is as opposed to it as you are, but she doesn't have any more influence over Kate than I do.
Charles, that man in prison in Zaroon is not Patrick London.
Well, I tend to agree with you. I mean, Patrick disappeared in Central Africa. Zaroon is in Western Africa. And the information I've received over the last 5 years leads me to believe that he's not even alive.
I know he isn't alive.
You know?
3 years ago, I received word from a private source that Patrick died in Central Africa.
And you didn't tell me?
Not because I knew you'd tell Kate.
But what would be so terrible about that?
I was concerned for her, to protect her, that's all.
You'd better tell her right now, Mother. If she believes that there is one shred of hope that Patrick is still alive, she will go to Africa. She will go to the ends of the earth to find him.
Excuse me, Mr. Ambassador.
Yes.
There's an urgent call for you on the phone in your study.
Is it my direct line to Washington?
Yes, sir.
Might be news about Patrick.
Just relax. I'll try to get you something for the pain.
It's bad, isn't it?
Guard! Guard!
This man's in bad shape. He needs medical attention.
You're a doctor. You cure him.
I don't have the proper medication to treat him.
Hey! Look, he needs to be moved to the hospital. He'll be moved, all right. All the prisoners will be moved to a new location in a few days.